What's really real? This your boy Consciously bringing you another episode of Street Academics. This episode is about the hypocrisy of democracy, aka the post-election, aka Trump is president-elect now.
Don't shoot me down, Mr. Officer, please. Right now I'm on my knees and I fear for my life. Bang, 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 bang was all I heard from the pistol. Why they wanna take my life from me?
Now if the election season is over and Donald Trump has been elected our 45th president of the US of A, America has spoken. That's who they wanted. They want to make America great again. You feel me? Trump ran a campaign that was fueled by the alt-right, aka white nationalism, aka I call it paranoid patriotism. Democrats truly believe that Trump's overt racism, overt sexism, overt xenophobia and disregard of decency would bring this country together and keep this dude out of office. But as we learned on 11/9, the reverse of 9/11, not even losing the popular vote could keep Trump out of the election. We can blame Hillary losing this election on her emails, on the Benghazi debacle, on her campaigning strategy. Hell, we can even blame black people for not even wanting to go support her how they voted for Obama. But let's keep it real though. Donald Trump was really the benefactor of white conservative resentment that accumulated for over 8 years of having a black man in office, you dig? While progressives was praising Obama for his stance on marriage equality or gay rights or global warming or giving insurance to all Americans, the real white America wasn't having it. The real America, white America, accused Obama of being divisive race baiter who was a communist Muslim who probably wasn't even born in America, who looked weak and made America look weak on the world stage. The idea that Obama's America of progressivism has come to a complete halt because Donald Trump's emergence of being president-elect, it show you how you lost in the sauce of hypocrisy of democracy. Donald Trump wasn't president when Trayvon Martin was gunned down, when Eric Garner got choked, when Sandra Bland was murdered in Texas, when white folks was choosing to hang Obama dolls from nooses with trees. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump wasn't even president when the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement happened. So this myth of progressivism and the hypocrisy of this democracy, the re-election of Obama gave liberals hope and marginalized people a little bit of faith of voting for this process and this government. Same system and process of government 8 years later gave us Donald Trump. Now, to better understand what I mean when I say the hypocrisy of democracy, just look at the unspoken history of the Electoral College, you feel me? While politicians and political scientists and historians and all these talking heads on Fox News and CNN trying to argue and bullshit with us, talking about the Electoral College was set up to avoid the tyranny of the majority that could occur if we had a direct system of just like a popular vote, that's some bullshit. The real reason behind the implementation of the Electoral College was slavery. You should have guessed it. It was slavery. James Madison advocated for a system that would please the southern states whose population consisted mostly of slaves who couldn't vote, which put them at a disadvantage compared to the white voting population up north. This led to the 3/5 Compromise, that's also known as the Great Compromise, that led to black people and slaves that were being considered 3/5 a person to reflect the representative population of the state. The politically incentivized chattel slavery, which gave slaveholding politicians a clear advantage over their northern rivals. Thomas Jefferson, for example, he wouldn't even have been president-elect of 1800 if it wasn't for his support of the slaveholding states down south and his win over John Adams. Enslaved Africans had no citizenship, no rights, yet their bodies was used to strengthen the political power of the South. The intensive effort by Republicans to divide these old weak-ass voter registration ID laws directly reflect their desire to keep people of color from voting. Conservatives, cut the bullshit. The research has been made and done to prove this rampant voter fraud y'all keep on fussing about is a myth. Representative Glenn Gotham of Wisconsin is quoted saying, "I think Hillary Clinton is about the weakest candidate the Democrats have ever put up. And now we have photo ID. And I think photo ID is going to make a little bit of difference as well." Now, why would this white man say this? Well, let's look at the numbers. While 1 in 10 Americans don't have a government-issued photo ID, it's 1 in 4 black people that don't have it. According to the ACLU, minority voters are 20% more likely to not have a DMV photo issued ID. 15% of poor voters encounter the same problem. Man, it's 2016 and we still talking about voting rights. Not actually voting, but the rights to vote. You know what I'm saying? Black folks in places like North Carolina and Wisconsin are being used to strengthen the representative population of their states, but they're still being marginalized and denied representation, just like in the 1800s. Look how progressive that is. The higher courts have since overturned some of these laws, but conservatives still finding creative ass ways and devising other ways of denying people of color the right to vote, such as banning up these watch groups and purging thousands of mostly minority registered voters in places like North Carolina. These tactics are encouraged and rewarded by the Electoral College. Yeah, the system is rigged. It's rigged to rob us of representation. It's rigged to make us think that we got a voice and we got a vote and we got shit that make happen. It's rigged to make sure that these white folks, these rich white folks, to be very specific in particular, have to make the final decision on who leads this country. Democracy, my ass. So the question becomes, what we gonna do? Since Trump won this election, a lot of the general public has been going through cycles of ego tripping and hopelessness and loss of faith and just straight up tripping, you feel me? People are looking for accountability and institutional reform from a system that allowed for Hillary Clinton to lose an election with almost 3 million more popular votes. What if I told y'all this? This is a part of the system perfecting itself. You know what I'm saying? Since its inception to 2016, the Electoral College and the hypocrisy of democracy has created barriers for democratic freedom for some while granting it to others. Instead of being angry and solely criticizing the system for working the way it's designed to, let's do some shit for ourselves. Despite the hypocrisy of democracy, this is Conscious Lee bringing you another episode of Academics to the Streets. Peace.
Don't shoot me down, Mr. Officer, please. Right now I'm on my knees and I fear for my life.